The second time in less than a week, federal law enforcement officers swarmed an area in St. Paul, once again clashing with protesters. St. Paul police also responded, and the city's officers at times used both mace and tear gas to control what became a rowdy crowd. Now, it started around 9 this morning near the intersection of Rose Avenue East and Edgerton Street. That's just east of 35E in the Payne-Phelan neighborhood. Details about what led to the chaotic scene are still unfolding right now, but we do know officers took multiple people into custody. Mayor Melvin Carter is speaking out about this, and the St. Paul police just released a statement in the last 15 minutes. Danny Spiewak was on the scene all morning and joins us now with the very latest. Danny?
Lauren, federal agents, including those from Homeland Security, ICE, and U.S. Marshals, were on scene in St. Paul this morning. And in that statement that St. Paul police released here in the last 15 minutes, they said that they responded to assist to this scene after learning that protesters had breached the perimeter set up by federal agents, including a report that one of their vehicles may have been hit. Protesters spilled into this neighborhood on the east side of St. Paul Tuesday morning.
They started in that house,
where they shouted at federal agents carrying out an investigation inside a home.
And I don't understand why there's so many different law enforcement agencies involved for one family.
With tensions heightened by last week's ICE raid at a St. Paul business, demonstrators confronted federal agents, as well as St. Paul police, who used a chemical irritant on protesters after they were warned that force might be needed.
spray, it was doing the little squirts.
Okay, here's a fresh, that's fresh. Put your eyes there.
After multiple protesters were arrested, the St. Paul City Council vice president learned that law enforcement was about to take somebody into custody inside the home.
We want everyone safe today. In order for that to happen, everyone needs to stay calm.
Shortly before 12:30 p.m., federal agents led this man into custody. As law enforcement backed away from the scene, protesters followed them, leading officers to fire tear gas.
And then the other one pepper spray.
Afterward, a handful of protesters surrounded St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter, demanding to learn more about SPPD's role.
We all have questions about what just happened. I do too. And we're going to have to get to the bottom of those things.
The man arrested by federal agents hasn't been identified, but his next-door neighbor says he was surprised by everything that happened.
Just pain and sadness.
Governor Walz and Mayor Carter have both said they had no advanced knowledge of the federal action today. Right now, Mayor Carter is holding a press conference to address the St. Paul police response today. The police chief said today that they are reviewing the use of chemical irritants. Back to you.
All right, Danny, thank you.